Remember when Fat Don made one of his obligatory appearances on Fox and was asked about the increasing radicalization of America from both the left and the right? Trump's reply: radicals on the right are radical because they don't want to see crime. Radicals on the left, on the other hand, are the problem, and they are vicious and horrible. They want men and women's sports. They want they want transgender for everyone. I thought that was the best. Transgender for everyone. Open borders, worst thing that happened to this country, he said. Then he tried to blame immigrants. He said, we don't want people coming in. We don't want you burning our shopping centers. By the way, that's never happened. Shooting people in the street. Worst thing, he said, is when you let 25 million people in. That's not true. Many of which, and I say 80%, should not be in our country. They empty their prisons into our country. They empty mental institutions, an insane asylum. And then he thought, whoa, I like that. He liked that insane asylum simile so much, he decided to stay with it. He said, they empty our insane asylums into our country by the millions. It's the hardest thing. Trump doesn't apparently understand, or most likely doesn't care, that the term insane asylum is wildly inappropriate for describing people who suffer from a mental illness. And by the way, I believe malignant narcissism might fall into that category. Just saying. But somehow it's perfect for Trump, who has used language like this ever since he came down the golden escalator. That's when he called Mexican immigrants rapists and murderers. Remember that? And then in what passes for, I don't know, an amazing display of benevolent humanity for Trump, he said, and some, I assume, are good people. Wow. For Fat Don, that's almost woke. Of course, he doesn't know that according to national crime statistics, immigrant communities have much lower violent crime rates than communities at large. Or as Trump would call that statistic, fake news, and then he would fire whoever quoted it to him. He exists in a fantasy land where reality is just whatever he says it is. Just like when he says, worst thing is when we let 25 million people in. No, it's not 25 million people. We don't have that many people who are in this country illegally. We don't have half that many people. But I guess, for you, that's close to being true. It's Donald Trump fantasy land where the far-right radicals are okay because they don't want to see crime, but radicals on the left are vicious and horrible. This is the MAGA world universe. It's what allows him to believe that the government shutdown is a great thing for him because everyone's blaming the Democrats, even though poll after poll says otherwise. What is harder to understand is the acquiescence of the entire Republican Party to this daily dose of madness. I think we have to believe that the Republican Party, as it is currently constituted, is a lost cause, and the first step in its final journey to where all political lost causes finally land would be next year's midterms. Never will there have been a group more deserving of being eradicated than today's Trump-soaked Republicans. Guess that's why you don't hear much from Trump when the shooter is a right-wing lunatic. He's just been driven to it because he doesn't like crime. And so it goes with a lunatic in charge.